Good morning, everyone. Hi, how are you all? I hope you all are fine at your places. Since you all know that we are doing chapter number 1 and we are almost on the verge to complete this particular chapter. And today is going to be the last day and we're going to complete this chapter, okay? Because we are left with only last concept in which we're going to understand the scope of sociology, scope of this particular subject, okay? So as usual, I'm going to share my PPT or the textbook that I'm sharing with you, right? So here I go. Here I go. I'm sure my screen is visible on your screen as well. Mm, So today we're gonna complete this chapter, okay? So we were doing chapter number 1 and we are on the last topic, okay? So this is the topic. So this is the topic. So look at my cursor. I'm using my cursor to highlight the lines. So today we're gonna do last topic, the scope of sociology and its relationship to the other social sciences disciplines. Now, look, when we talk about scope, then it means dimensions, right? To what extent a particular subject can be studied, and what are the other disciplines that affect this subject in one way or the another. We're going to understand that, right? We're going to understand the relation of this subject with political science. We're going to understand the relationship of this subject with psychology. We're going to understand the relationship with history. We're going to understand the relationship with anthropology, social anthropology, and obviously with economics as well, right? So let's start the last topic, okay? The scope of sociological study is extremely wide. I told you in the last class that its scope is extremely wide, right? It can focus its analysis of interactions between individuals, such as that of shopkeeper. So from very micro to macro level. Micro level is a very small level, and macro level is a large level. Okay, so right from micro level to large level, right from micro level to macro level, it studies almost everything, right, that exists in society. And more importantly, you got to understand one thing here, that everything that is happening around us somewhere affects individual. Everything that is happening around us somewhere affects ultimately society, right? That's the reason this subject studies or tries to understand the influence the other subject have on this particular subject, right? So we'll straight away start with the okay. So this is the line, sociology is one of the group of social sciences which also includes anthropology, economics, political science, and history, right? So we'll start the number one relationship, right? So, okay, number one relationship, sociology and economics, right? Now, look, before I read these lines, I just want to give you a, kind of outline, or, what this actual relationship means. Look, when we talk about the economics, right? I'm teaching a chapter in 12th class, and the name of that particular chapter is the market as a social institution, right? So the market as a social institution. Now, what does it means? It means that market is not about an economic structure. Market is not something that is related to economy, right? It has another meaning. It has another scope. It has another aspect. It has another side that we need to understand, and that is sociological perspective. That is you can also call it sociological side or sociological aspect of a market. Now you understand what is sociology, right? Now what is economic? economy or economics or market, right? Market is something that comes under economy, right? Now it can be any kind of market, right? Your vegetable market, fruit market, clothes market, market of cars, where automobiles agencies are there, and then different kinds of markets of electronic gadgets that we get, right? But remember that market is not only an economic institution. There is a social aspect is also there that exists with the market. Look, now what is economy? Economy is the study of production of goods and services, right? economic Economy is something that is related to the structure, that is related to the condition, right, in which production and consumption of goods and services are taking place, in which buyers and sellers are there, and people are buying and people are selling. That's what happens in market, right? Yahi hota hai na market mein ki we go to the market and buy some goods. Those goods can be anything, right? We go to the market, and suppose if doctor has a clinic in the market, then he's going to give us his medical services, right? So goods and services, I'm sure you understand the meaning of goods and services. Goods means everything that we buy. It can be your mobile phone, it can be any electronic gadget, it can be vegetable, fruits, clothes that we wear, or any kind of thing that we buy is what goods is all about. And services means the services that people give, like doctors gives the services, and um, other mechanics gives you services. So market is all about that, right? Market is a place, market is a structure, market is a condition, market is a situation where goods and services are sold or bought, right? Or where production and consumption of goods and services takes place, right? This is what economics is all about. But economics is something that is related to sociology. How we can say this, right? When we go to the market, it's not about just buying and selling the things. It's about people are gathering there. Just look at the market not from the economic aspect, because when we see market from the economic aspect, then it is like okay, market is a place where production and consumption of goods are taking place, where distribution is there, where supply of money is there, right? This is the economic aspect of the market, right? But market has some sociological aspect also, where people are gathering, people have certain relationship with the shopkeepers know the customers, know their customers, right? So एक relationship बन गया होता है जिसमें people are interacting, right? So एक social structure भी है उस चीज में, किसमें, market में. So market या economics इसलिए हम sociological aspect में भी पढ़ते हैं, right? So what is written here? Economics is the study of production and distribution of goods and services. I've already told you this, right? The classical economic approach dealt almost exclusively with the interrelationship of pure economic variables, the relationships of price, demand, supply, money flow. I told you, supply of money, output, input ratios, and the like. The focus of traditional economics has been on the narrow understanding of economic activity, namely the allocation of scarce resources of goods and services within society. So एक society के अंदर जब भी कुछ गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज डिस्ट्रीब्यूट होते हैं, एक सोसाइटी के अंदर जब एक मार्केट में गुड्स और सर्विसेज डिस्ट्रीब्यूट होते हैं, और पीपल सेल थिंग्स, सम पीपल बाय इट, ये है इकोनॉमिक एस्पेक्ट एक मार्केट का. बट एक मार्केट का सोशियोलॉजिकल एस्पेक्ट ये है कि पीपल गैदर देयर इन द मार्केट, दे इंटरेक्ट विद ईच अदर, राइट? दे डू सर्टेन काइंड ऑफ गॉसिप्स देयर, राइट? और एक रिलेशनशिप बिल्ड होता है बिटवीन पीपल, सो वो एक सोशियोलॉजिकल एस्पेक्ट है. इसलिए इकोनॉमिक्स और सोशियोलॉजी का कहीं ना कहीं एक इंटर रिलेशनशिप है. आई एम श्योर यू आर अंडरस्टैंडिंग, राइट? ओके, आफ्टर दैट, and moreover, one more thing that is coming right in my mind, you often see advertisements in TV, you often see different ads on your television or even on YouTube or anywhere else. There what happens is that जब इकोनॉमिक्स की बात होती है, तो जब कोई भी एडवर्टीजमेंट हमारे टेलीविजन पे आती है या कहीं पे भी टेलीविजन पे आती है, तो वो एक अपनी एडवर्टीजमेंट में एक लोगों को कनेक्ट करने की कोशिश करते हैं हमेशा. कुछ भी ब्रांड होगा वो दिखाते हैं कि वो ब्रांड बहुत ज़्यादा रॉयल है, people should buy it, it is going to increase or enhance your social status. So कहीं ना कहीं सोसाइटी को इन्वॉल्व करने की कोशिश करते हैं, जिसकी वजह से maximum people try to do what? Maximum people try to maximum people try to buy those products, right? So एक वो लोगों को connect कर रहे हैं, and when people are coming in the market, when society is involving in the market, so it is giving rise to sociological perspective, it is giving rise to the sociological aspect of the market, apart from कि distribute हो रहे हैं चीजें, production distribution हो रही है, supply of money हो रही है, people are buying and selling. Apart from that, there is another meaning that is connected to the market. So that's how we understand the relationship of economics and market, right? Okay, the sociological approach looks at economic behavior in a broader sense. So when we talk about economy, when we talk about economic structure, that is market, right? We always understand economics through market, right? सो जब हम इकोनॉमिक्स को स्टडी करते हैं तो वो एक बहुत ही नैरो कंसेप्ट है. लुक एट दैट, इट इज रिटन हियर, लुक एट दैट वेयर इट इज रिटन. ओके, आई जस्ट रेड इट नाउ. ओके, so it's all about a narrow aspect, right? But sociological approach जो होती है एक मार्केट को देखने के लिए, वो एक ब्रॉडर एक एस्पेक्ट होता है, ठीक है, जिसमें मैंने बताया कि सोशोलॉजिकल रिलेशनशिप कैसे बनता है, ठीक है. Okay, okay, look at that. This is example. Activity 7. Do you think advertisement actually influence people's consumption patterns? Yes. Advertisement जो बेसिकली कुछ भी ऐड आए, ऑटोमोबाइल की ऐड आए, कोई ब्रांड की ऐड आए, नाइकी की ऐड आए, जैगुआर की ऐड आए, कोई भी ऐड आए, वो हमेशा लोगों को इन्वॉल्व करने के लिए लोगों के कल्चर को स्टडी करते हैं ना. अब जो इकोनॉमिस्ट हैं उनको डेफिनेटली दे नीड हेल्प फ्रॉम द सोशियोलॉजिस्ट. व्हाई? बिकॉज अगर वो अपना प्रोडक्ट सेल कर रहे हैं मार्केट में थ्रू एडवर्टीजमेंट, और किसी भी रीजन से वो अपना प्रोडक्ट सेल कर रहे हैं, वो हमेशा लोगों को कल्चर को अंडरस्टैंड करने की कोशिश करेंगे, राइट? अब इंडिया में सपोज इंडिया में अगर एक सिंपल साड़ी जो एक एथनिक वेयर होता है विमेन का, ऑब्वियसली वो इंडिया में ही उस चीज की एडवर्टीजमेंट करेंगे. अब यूरोपियन कंट्रीज में अगर साड़ी की एडवर्टीजमेंट करेंगे तो इट विल नॉट मेक एनी सेंस, इनफैक्ट इट डजंट मेक एनी सेंस, राइट? तो जब भी एडवर्टीजमेंट आती है वो हमेशा सोसाइटी को स्टडी करने के बाद ही आती है, सोसाइटी और कल्चर को और लोगों की कैसे इंटरेस्ट हैं उनके अकॉर्डिंगली हमेशा एडवर्टीजमेंट आती है. सो आई एम श्योर यू आर understanding, you are realizing the connection between economic and sociology, right? Okay, do you think the idea of what defines good life is only economic defined? No. अब यहाँ पे लिखा हुआ है कि गुड लाइफ का जो आइडिया वो इकोनॉमिक्स ही सेटअप करती है, नहीं, वो एक सोशियोलॉजी सेटअप करती है, क्योंकि कहीं ना कहीं हमें लोगों की अंडरस्टैंडिंग, लोगों का कल्चर, लोगों की लाइक्स और डिसलाइक्स को समझना पड़ता है. उसके लिए हमें वी ऑलवेज नीड टू स्टडी सोसाइटी. एंड हाउ वी कैन स्टडी सोसाइटी? ऑब्वियसली थ्रू दिस सब्जेक्ट सोशियोलॉजी, राइट? Okay, so these are the things that you need to understand. Okay, after that, the sociological approach looks at the economic behavior in a broader context of social norms, values, practices, and trust. Okay, so this is what I was talking about. You know what happens, जब भी मैं कोई आपको concept समझाता हूँ, मैं कोशिश करता हूँ कि उस पूरे subject को उसी वक्त समझा दूँ. इसलिए हमेशा next line जब भी मैं पढ़ता हूँ तो वो कहीं ना कहीं link हो रही होती है. Okay, so this is what I was making you understand, right? So what happens here is that, so I'm sure you are realizing, you are understanding the connection between sociological and economic, right? So this is what happens. I've already told you that sociology understands society in a broader context, right? It understands society in a very, very broader context, in which we try to understand the social norms, in which we try to understand the values, practices, and interests of the people, right? Isn't it like that? It is definitely like that. I was giving you the example of your companies who give their advertisement, right? How they give the advertisement, they try to understand the culture, values, norms, and interests of the people, right? The corporate sector. Now, what is corporate sector? The large scale industries, big companies come under corporate sector, right? The corporate sector managers are aware of this, right? This is what I was telling you. They are always aware of the culture of the people. They're always aware what interests people have. They always try to understand certain things. The corporate sector managers are aware of this. The large investment in the advertisement industry is directly linked to the need to reshape lifestyle and consumption patterns. And this is what I was telling you. It's not about economics only, it's about sociological aspect of the market as well, right? That's what matters a lot, right? I'm sure you are understanding what I'm trying to make you understand. So kindly text me if you're understanding. I really need your feedback, right? Because without your feedback I just can't proceed further, right? I want all of you to understand everything. So kindly text me, hurry up fast. I've got the text. Okay, yes, understood. Okay. So now, so this is what, scope of sociology was all about, in which we understood the economic aspect and the sociological aspect, right? I'm sure you are understanding. Okay, now moving on to the next concept, in which we're going to understand. Okay, in which we're going to understand the next concept, that is in the form, we're going to understand the next concept, right? Sociology and political science. Now, how political science is linked to the sociology, or how, politics have certain role to play in the sociology. They are interrelated to each other. How we can say this? you know Politics is something that is directly involved to the people, isn't it? Like that, it is definitely like that. Political science is something that is definitely related to people, right? Certain policies of the government influence people, right? Certain policies of the government influence people, and people try to influence government in return. So it is give and take. I'm sure you understand. It's a give and take of sociology and political science, right? Now, what is written here? As in the case of economics, there is an increased interaction of methods and approaches between sociology and political science. Conventionally, political science was focused primarily on two elements: political theory and government and administration, right? Neither branch involves extensive contact with political behavior. The theory part usually focuses on the ideas about government from Plato to Marx, while courses on administration generally deal with the formal structure of government rather than its actual operation. Sociology is devoted to the study of all aspects of society. You all know that it is devoted to the all aspects of the society, whereas conventional political study restricts itself mainly to the study of power. Okay, now what is politics? Politics, something that is related to power, right? Who is going to give power to the people? Obviously, society is going to give power to the people. The people that are existing in society, they are going to give power to the people, right? So it means that political leaders influence society, and in return, society also influence the political leader. Why people do protest? They want to influence the political leaders who are at the power, right? Earlier, political science was all about, understanding the power. It was confined to the administration system only. It was confined to the working of government system only. But nowadays, political science is also, going to study the society. Why it is studying the society? Because they really want to influence people. They really want to get, really want to conserve their vote bank. I'm sure you are understanding. Why the suddenly when your elections come, why people suddenly starts talking about the caste system, why people start, political leaders, I'm especially talking about, why political leaders start, talking about the certain caste, why they start talking about the certain religions, why they start talking about certain sections of the society, right? They want to influence people. They want to influence people because people are kind of vote bank for them, right? So I'm sure you understand the relationship between political science and sociology, right? Obviously, certain policies are going to give positive impact on certain sections of the people, and for certain societies it's going to be negative concept, right? Reservation is kind of an example, right? Where certain caste of Indian society, or certain caste of the our nation are reserved. Their jobs are reserved, and their education is reserved. Why? Because they understand the influence the people have and the politics have on the people, right? Okay, so however, sociology long started similar interests of the research. Okay, so sociologists like Marx Weber worked in what can be termed as political sociology. So when we when we understand this particular subject, sociology, with the help of politics, then it becomes political sociology. Look at my cursor. I'm using my cursor. Look at where it is written. Sociologists like Marx and Weber. These are two sociologists who worked in what can be termed as political sociology, right? When politics is involved in the society, then that study is what political sociology is all about. And you need to understand one more term that I really wanted to discuss with you, and it is not actually mentioned in your book. That is politicization of the people. This is what happens. The political leaders, they try to politicize, they try to bring politics in the society because they want to influence people, and in return people are going to give them the vote because they want to influence society. So there is a very direct relation between political science and sociology, right? Okay, the focus of political science has been increasingly on the actual study of the political behavior. Now, you might have heard about the pressure groups, you might have heard about the political parties, you might have heard about the interest groups. What they do, they try to influence the government, they try to influence the people who are at power, right? So this is what happens. Even in the recent Indian elections, look at that, they are using the same example that I was discussing with you. So even in the recent Indian elections, one has seen the extensive study of political patterns of voting, right? So when voting comes, political scientists or political leaders really want to understand the culture, really want to understand the the inclination, inclination or the biasness of the people. They didn't want to, and they target all those points to seek to garner the votes, right? I'm sure you are understanding. Okay, so studies have also conducted in the membership of political organization, process of decision making in the organization, sociological reasons for support of political parties, the role of gender in politics, etc. Look, even political leaders are also trying to understand the culture, understanding the society, and they are also taking help from the sociologists, right, in order to understand. Because politics is not about administration only. Politics is not about, running a government only. Politics is all about taking people together, right? Sabka saath sabka vikas. Why our prime minister Narendra Modi say all these things? Because he wants to, influence everyone in the country, and he wants to take everyone with, him. That's how he's going to get, more support from the people. And he's getting because he's really understanding the society. He's really understanding the dimensions of the society. I'm sure you are understanding it. Okay, so this is what happens, right? So whenever government makes any decision, they it's not like they make decisions by their own will or by their own mindset. They try to make decisions by trying to involve more and more people indirectly, not directly but indirectly, by understanding the society. I'm sure you understand it. So kindly text me if you have understood this relation as well. Kindly text me. I really want to need your feedback. Kindly text me. I'm sure you're understanding, and in case if you're not understanding, you can ask me. I'm gonna recall that again. Clear. Okay, clear, clear. Okay. So I'm sure you're understanding. Okay, so this is what political science and your sociology is all about, and we understood economics also with the, with the reference of market, right? Now history. When we talk about the history, right? Look, and when we talk about the history, it is also related to political science, or they are interrelated to each other. How we can say this? Look, when we talk about any dynasty, suppose we talk about Mughal dynasty, we talk about Tughlaq dynasty, we talk about, certain kings that used to be there in the history, like Prithviraj Chauhan, then Akbar was there, then Shivaji, Maratha Empire was there, right? So all those, kingdoms were there, all those dynasties were there, all those, kings were there. We not only understand that, कि एक किंग ने कितने, people को, कितनी wars जीती, how many wars, a particular king had won at his particular time, or how many soldiers were died, and how many, territories he occupied. We not only understand that, we understand that ki at that particular time when kingdom was going on, when particular kingdom was going on, then at that particular time एक पर्टिकुलर जो किंग था, उसके 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 किंगडम में, इन हिज किंगडम, how the people were actually living, what their, standard of life was good enough that they could lead a good life, or you can say that उनको opportunities थी कि नहीं थी, how was their culture, king was supporting them or not. So we understand all those things, what was happening in their, उनके राज में, उनके, उनकी dynasty में, उनके empire में, everyone was going good, और उनका राज कैसा था, वो aggressive थे, और वो, or he was not aggressive, or he was doing something for the welfare of the society, or he was not doing welfare of the society. So we understand that as well. So in this case also, what is happening, certain historians are taking the help of sociologists to understand कि, उनका culture कैसा होता था. History is all about that. History is not about कि, we talk about Battle of Panipat, we talk about Battle of, Plassey, we talk about Battle of Boxer, we talk about Battle of Bondiwash. There are different kind of battles that used to be there. Apart from battles, apart from, what kings had achieved or not, we also understand कि वहाँ पे welfare of the society कैसा था, kings लोगों के favor में थे कि नहीं थे, right? So we understand all those things, right? So look at that, what is written here. Historians almost as a rule study the past. Sociology almost study the past, you all know that. Sociology is also what we were discussing in this chapter. We were discussing history, right? What used to happen when sociology came, when sociology doesn't came. And we also understood the origin of society had happened from where, from the England industrial revolution. We understood capitalism, we understood, right? We understood the pastoral societies kaisi hoti thi. We understood pre-modern societies, we understood, modern societies. So it's a very, direct thing to understand कि society और history का kind of, certain, link है, right? So I'm sure you're understanding. So the historians almost study as a rule study the past. You all know that they study the past, right? Sociologists are more interested in the contemporary or recent past. So sociologists, when we talk about things that happened very long time ago, that is the study of what study of history. The बहुत time पहले की चीजें हुई हैं. That is what study of history is all about. That's what subject matter of study is all about. But recently, what has happened, like in the 1940s, 1950s, 17th century, 18th century, almost about 150 or 200 years ago पहले क्या हुआ और present में क्या हो रहा, that is what's that's where sociology come in, right? So बहुत ज़्यादा पीछे जाएंगे हम, बहुत ज़्यादा अगर पास्ट में जाएंगे तो दैट्स द वर्क ऑफ हिस्ट्री. बट अगर हम रीसेंट पास्ट की स्टडी करेंगे और कंटेम्प्रेरी सोसाइटी मीन्स कहीं ना कहीं प्रेजेंट सोसाइटी की स्टडी करेंगे तो वो इट्स द वर्क ऑफ सोशियोलॉजी. बट कहीं ना कहीं जो रीसेंट पास्ट है हमारा, या कहीं ना कहीं जो 18th century 19th century, कहीं ना कहीं वो पास्ट के साथ भी तो लिंक है. इट्स नॉट लाइक कि एवरीथिंग हैज सडनली हैपेंड और कोई ना कोई लिंक नहीं है पीछे, राइट? अगर इंडस्ट्रियल रेवोल्यूशन आई थी, इफ आई टॉक्ड अबाउट इंडस्ट्रियल रेवोल्यूशन अगर इंग्लैंड में आई थी, वो कहीं ना कहीं फ्रेंच रेवोल्यूशन के बाद जो डिस्टर्बेंस हुई थी उसकी वजह से आई थी, राइट? I will not go deep into to the past और आपको वो सारी चीजों को but little bit understanding is very important. So French Revolution के बाद जो disturbance आई थी फ्रांस में, जो revolution आई थी जहाँ पे monarchy system होता था, right? सारी capital, सारी wealth जो है वो एक particular person के हाथ में होती थी. It was in the hands of particular person. That has changed, right? That has changed suddenly. So there is always a link between history and sociology. I'm sure you understanding कि when we talk about recent past or contemporary society that is there in the present society, it is the work of sociologists. But when we talk about the when we talk about very long time ago things that has happened, then it's something that's subject matter of history, right? Okay, history studies concrete details. Concrete details, that's what I was talking. Concrete details means that particular king has come, Prithviraj Chauhan has come, Shivaji has come, Akbar has come, Aurangzeb has come, Babur has come. How many empires, they occupied, and armies in number, how many, the capital they had, how many battles they won. So it is all about concrete, means something that is very related to specific detail of the history. But remember that what is written, while the sociology is more likely to abstract from concrete reality. अब वो concrete reality that that kings used to have, उसमें से एक एक abstract material, एक abstract material means something that we feel कि वहाँ पे लोगों का how people were living, in which वेलफेयर थी सोसाइटी में, या ना यहाँ लोग अच्छी लाइफ लीड कर रहे थे ना. दैट इज व्हाट सोशियोलॉजी इज ऑल अबाउट, राइट? Okay, so this is what is all. Conventional history has been about the history of kings war, and this is what I was talking about. जब भी मैं आपको कोई भी चीज एक्सप्लेन करता हूँ, हमेशा कोशिश करता हूँ वहीं पे हर चीज को लिंक आउट कर दूं, वहीं पे हर चीज को एक्सप्लेन कर दूं. क्योंकि व्हाट हैपेंस, अगर आप लाइन बाय लाइन हर चीज को पढ़ोगे तो दैट इज मोर ऑफ डिस्टर्बिंग थिंग. आई बिलीव दैट एक ही time pe we should always try to understand things. वही चीजें that I've already discussed. So I'm sure now you have understood the connection between history and sociology as well. Now sociology and psychology, it's not a very difficult thing to understand. जब हम एक इंडिविजुअल की बात करते हैं, इस मेंटल एस्पेक्ट की बात करते हैं, इस मेंटल साइड की बात करते हैं, दैट इज व्हाट साइकोलॉजी इज ऑल अबाउट. बट कहीं ना कहीं वो इंडिविजुअल जो एग्जिस्ट कर रहा है, जिसकी हम स्टडी कर रहे हैं साइकोलॉजी में, कहीं ना कहीं ही इज मेकिंग पार्ट इन दिस हिस्ट्री, ही इज मेकिंग पार्ट इन द सोसाइटी, राइट? कहीं ना कहीं दैट पर्टिकुलर पर्सन इज पार्ट ऑफ हिस्ट्री, राइट? है ना? तो साइकोलॉजी इज ऑफन डिफाइंड एज द साइंस ऑफ बिहेवियर, इन विच हम पर्टिकुलर पर्सन को वी टेक द पर्टिकुलर पर्सन, ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड हिज बिहेवियर. दैट इज व्हाट साइकोलॉजी इज ऑल अबाउट. बट कहीं ना कहीं इंडिविजुअल सोसाइटी के साथ तो लिंक है ही है, राइट? सो वही चीज इसमें लिखी हुई है. Psychology is often defined as the science of behavior. You all know that. It involves itself primarily with the individual. So जब हम इंडिविजुअल के साथ कन्फाइन रहते हैं, सिर्फ इंडिविजुअल के बारे में सोचते हैं, दैट इज व्हाट साइकोलॉजी. बट कहीं ना कहीं when we come out that confinement, when we come out that that limit कि हमने अब स्टडी सोसाइटी की भी करनी है और बहुत सारे इंडिविजुअल्स की स्टडी करनी है, और वो ऑटोमेटिकली साइकोलॉजी बन जाता है, राइट? इट इन्वॉल्व इटसेल्फ विद प्राइमरी विद इंडिविजुअल, राइट? इट इज इंटरेस्टेड इन इंटेलिजेंस, लर्निंग, मोटिवेशन, मेमोरी कितनी है, मेंटल एस्पेक्ट, मेंटल एबिलिटी जब हम एक इंडिविजुअल की पढ़ते हैं वो साइकोलॉजी होती है, राइट? बट कहीं ना कहीं जो हम बहुत सारे इंडिविजुअल्स को पढ़ते हैं, ग्रुप्स में चीज़ों को पढ़ते हैं, जब हम सोसाइटी को पढ़ते हैं, वो ऑब्वियसली स्टडी ऑफ सोसाइटी हो जाती है, राइट? So कहीं ना कहीं इंडिविजुअल तो कहीं ना कहीं it is linked with the society, right? So this is what it is all about. Okay, sociology which serves as a bridge between psychology and social psychology. So I told you that when we study political science, or when we study politics in sociology, that becomes political sociology. But when we study sociology in psychology, or when we study sociology with the help of psychology, then it becomes social psychology. So you got to remember these terms. Terminology is very important, right? Social psychology is where sociology or society study with the psychology. That's social psychology. And when this is political sociology, then obviously politics is involved, right? Okay, which serves as a bridge. So social psychology serves as a bridge between psychology and sociology. Maintains a primary interest in the individual, but concerns itself with the way individuals be so individual behavior and all those things. Okay, sociology attempts to understand behavior as it is organized into society. That is why in which personality is shaped. Okay, ऑब्वियसली एक इंसान की पर्सनालिटी हमेशा उसकी मेंटल एबिलिटी पे डिपेंड होती है. इफ पर्सन हैज गेन्ड गुड अपब्रिंगिंग फ्रॉम हिज पेरेंट्स ऑफ, तो उससे उसकी वजह से क्या होगा, ऑब्वियसली इज गोइंग टू बिकम गुड फॉर द सोसाइटी एज वेल, राइट? सो कहीं ना कहीं लिंक है, राइट? Sociology attempts to understand behavior as it is organized. That is why in which personality is shaped by different aspects of the society, right? अब जब हम एक इंडिविजुअल की बात करते हैं, जब हम साइकोलॉजी में एक इंडिविजुअल की बात करते हैं, क्या इंडिविजुअल की जो एस्पेक्ट्स हैं या उसकी मेंटल डेवलपमेंट है, क्या वो सिर्फ उसके पेरेंट्स से ही आ रही है? ना, दिस इज नॉट द ट्रूथ, राइट? सोसाइटी हैज आल्सो गॉट इन्फ्लुएंस ऑन दैट पर्टिकुलर इंडिविजुअल, राइट? सोसाइटी एटमॉस्फेयर कैसा है, उसका फ्रेंड सर्कल कैसा है, स्कूल में हाउ व्हाट काइंड ऑफ एजुकेशन ही इज गेटिंग, और उसका पेयर ग्रुप कैसा है, इसके फ्रेंड्स कैसे हैं, that also makes a lot influence on a particular individual. That's the reason sociology and psychology is very much interrelated, right? Okay, so okay, culture का impact कैसा है, family कैसी है, family background कैसा है, television में what he's watching. Okay, so television का impact, gadgets का impact, always the impacts are always there, right? Family kinship always, culture, norms, values, right? All those things really matter. It is interesting to recall that Durkheim, who studied, okay, so this is what I want to discuss. Okay, so obviously क्या होता था, एक टाइम था जब suicide, you understand suicide, when a person takes his or her life, सुसाइड. तो एक टाइम होता था जब हम सुसाइड की बात करते थे, हम कहते थे कि सुसाइड जो है उसका एक इंडिविजुअल के साथ ही एक लेना देना है, बट कहीं ना कहीं सोसाइटी के साथ लेना देना नहीं है. वी यूज्ड टू स्टडी इट लाइक दैट. बट देयर वाज अ सोशियोलॉजिस्ट, उनका नाम है दुर्खाइम, इमाइल दुर्खाइम, राइट? इमाइल दुर्खाइम, यू गॉट टू रिमेंबर दिस. सो उन्होंने एक स्टडी की सुसाइड के ऊपर. सुसाइड के ऊपर जब उन्होंने स्टडी की, ही केम आउट विद द व्यू, ही केम आउट विद द व्यू पॉइंट कि सोसाइटी का इम्पैक्ट भी इंडिविजुअल में होता है, और वो भी एक रीजन बनता है एक इंडिविजुअल की सुसाइड का, राइट? सो इट्स नॉट अबाउट कि सुसाइड जब इंडिविजुअल करता है सिर्फ उसके मेंटल एस्पेक्ट्स को ही देखकर वो उसको उसके 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 उस रीजंस की वजह से ही करता है, नहीं. इट्स नॉट लाइक दैट. कहीं ना कहीं सोसाइटी का प्रेशर भी होता है, सोसाइटी का इन्फ्लुएंस भी करती है, राइट? तो ये कहीं ना कहीं उन्होंने बताया था इमाइल डर्कहाइम ने, जिन्होंने स्टडी की किसकी, उन्होंने स्टडी की हमारे society, right? It's very important, it comes in the form of MCQ, that who did study, which sociologists did study on the society. So Emile Durkheim studied the society, right, in which he tried to understand the sociological perspective, sociological imagination, or sociological side or dimension of the society, right? I think we are on the last topic. Let me see. Yes, we are on the last topic. Yes, social anthropology, right? I've already told you about this social anthropologist, and मैं फिर से बताऊंगा आपको. Sociology studies complex society. You got to understand one thing. You have to keep it very clear in your mind. I always want to keep things clear, right? सो जब हम स्टडी करते हैं किसकी, जब हम स्टडी करते हैं सोशल एंथ्रोपोलॉजी. सोशल एंथ्रोपोलॉजी बेसिकली बात करता है सिंपल सोसाइटी की, राइट? सोशल एंथ्रोपोलॉजी स्टडी करता है सिंपल सोसाइटी की. सोशल एंथ्रोपोलॉजी स्टडी करते हैं सिंपल सोसाइटी, बट कॉम्प्लेक्स सोसाइटी की स्टडी कौन करता है? सोशियोलॉजी, राइट? सो सोशल एंथ्रोपोलॉजी सिंपल सोसाइटीज की स्टडी करता है, राइट? बट कहीं ना कहीं ये डेफिनेशन वेरी करती है. जब फॉरनर्स, जब यूरोपियंस बात करते हैं सोशल एंथ्रोपोलॉजी की, वो कहते हैं कि इंडियन सोसाइटी इज अ सिंपल सोसाइटी. सो हम जब इंडियन सोसाइटी की स्टडी करेंगे, जिसको वो सिंपल सोसाइटी मानते हैं, कीप दिस इन माइंड, इंडियन सोसाइटी को सिंपल सोसाइटी मानते हैं, तो वो कहते हैं सोशल एंथ्रोपोलॉजी इंडियन सोसाइटीज को स्टडी करने के लिए, क्योंकि इंडियन सोसाइटी बहुत सिंपल सोसाइटी है. बट कहीं ना कहीं हम वो चीज नहीं मानते. इंडियन सोसाइटी हु सेज दैट इंडिया इज अ सिंपल सोसाइटी? इंडिया इज अ प्लूरलिस्टिक सोसाइटी. इंडिया में बहुत सारी डाइवर्सिटीज है, राइट? यूनिटी इन डाइवर्सिटी. यू माइट हैव heard this term unity in diversity. हमारी कंट्री में बहुत सारी डाइवर्सिटीज ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ लैंग्वेज, सर्टन ट्राइब ग्रुप्स हैं, सर्टन बहुत सारी कास्ट हैं, बहुत सारी लैंग्वेजेस हैं, बहुत सारे रीजनल वेरिएशंस हैं, जोग्राफिकल वेरिएशंस, राइट? कहीं हमारी कंट्रीज में हिमालयस हैं, कहीं हमारे कोस्टल एरियाज हैं, कहीं पे बहुत सारी हीट इज देयर, हॉट एंड ह्यूमिड क्लाइमेट इज देयर, कहीं पे बर्फ पड़ रही है सियाचिन पे. सो वी हैव गॉट लॉट ऑफ डाइवर्सिटीज. सो कहीं ना कहीं उनकी डेफिनेशन, यूरोपियंस की डेफिनेशन ये है कि सोशल एंथ्रोपोलॉजी सिंपल सोसाइटी की स्टडी करते हैं, और सोशियोलॉजी स्टडीज अबाउट द complexity of the society, right? Or complex society. So this is what it is all about. Okay, one more thing. Okay, so ये है डेफिनेशन उनकी सोशियोलॉजिस्ट की. इट्स इसलिए जस्ट बिकॉज ऑफ दिस रीजन जब हम सोशियोलॉजी स्टडी करते हैं इंडियन कॉन्टेक्स्ट में तो इट इज़ वेरी डिफरेंट. और जब हम स्टडी करते हैं यूरोपियन कॉन्टेक्स्ट में स्टडी, बेसिकली जब हम यूरोपियन सोसाइटीज़ की स्टडी करते हैं, हम स्टडी करते हैं उनके इंडस्ट्रियल रेवोल्यूशन की जो इंग्लैंड से स्टार्ट हुई थी, कैपिटलिज्म की, राइट? कैसे इंडस्ट्री सेटअप हुई, कैसे उन्होंने कॉलोनीज बनाई, कॉलोनलिज्म, राइट? बहुत सारी कंट्रीज को हम उस एस्पेक्ट में स्टडी. जब हम इंडियन सोसाइटी की स्टडी करते हैं तो हम अपने कल्चर की सोसाइटी करते हैं, स्टडी करते हैं, हम अपने वेरिएशंस की, हम अपने पार्ट्स, रीजन्स, लैंग्वेजेस, बहुत सारी चीज़ों की स्टडी करते हैं, राइट? Okay, so this is what social anthropology and studies all about, right? Okay, so what else? Okay, so here it is written as Nagas, Santhals, these are all tribes, हम tribes की भी study करते हैं. So I've already told you. Okay, so what else? यहाँ पे इस स्लाइड में वाई टी पिकर्स इन असम क्यों नहीं है, क्योंकि उनकी स्टडी भी एक सोशल एंथ्रोपोलॉजी के अंडर आ जाती है, क्योंकि वो एक सिंपल सोसाइटी को बिलोंग करते हैं, वो एक ट्राइब को सोसाइटी को बिलोंग करते हैं, राइट? ओके. Okay, today the distinction between a simple society and a complex society itself needs major rethinking. और at this particular time हम बहुत सारी सोशियोलॉजिस्ट के लिए डिफिकल्ट हो गया कि कौन सी सिंपल सोसाइटी और कौन सी complex society है. ये भी एक it has become a major rethinking thing, right? India itself a complex mix of tradition and modernity. The village, so India has got a lot of diversity about villages, cities, complex system है, tribe है, caste है, classes है, communities है, villages है, बहुत सारी. Okay, what else? The traditional society of simple non-social. But kahin na kahin, I'll give you another conclusion of this thing. So kahin na kahin, what is happening today in this contemporary world, what is happening, more and more societies are becoming complex, more and more societies are becoming complex societies. So kahin na kahin, social anthropology is is just going away from the scene. Social anthropology kahin na kahin दूर होती जा रही है, क्योंकि एवरी सोसाइटी कॉम्प्लेक्स सोसाइटी बनती जा रही है, इसलिए सोशियोलॉजी का इम्पैक्ट हमारी सोसाइटी में ज़्यादा है. सो काइंडली टेक्स्ट मी इफ यू अंडरस्टूड द रिलेशनशिप बिटवीन social anthropology and social psychology, because I'm just left with 2 minutes or even less than that. Can you text me? Okay, Tavisha, clear. And what about Puneet? Okay, understood. So this is what this chapter was all about. So today we have finished this chapter, right? I'm sure you have understood, but in case if any doubt is not actually is not if you have any doubt, you can your doubts are always welcome, right? But I always try कि आप सबको clear understanding do systematically, I go with the systematic way and all those things, right? It's very important to do that, right? Okay, so now you have to do the questions of this particular chapter number 1, right? So I'm just giving you 2 or 3 days, right? You have got today, and maybe I'll check your textual questions day after tomorrow. So you have got today, you have got tomorrow. So day after tomorrow, you have to show me your textbook, right? You have to do these questions, right? Original growth, right? इंग्लैंड से हुआ, इंडियन इंग्लैंड से कैपिटलिज्म इंडस्ट्रियलिज्म आया. So we understand growth and growth of origin of sociology from that, right? So different aspects of society, जहाँ पे हम प्री मॉडर्न और पोस्ट मॉडर्न सोसाइटी की बात करते हैं. कॉमन सेंस how it is different, it is somewhere when जब हम चीज़ों को we start questioning things, so कहीं ना कहीं तब कॉमन सेंस से अलग हो जाती है, right? So there are certain things, right, which you can write for this answer, right? Or third question is all about disciplines के साथ give and take. How I've made you understand about the give and take of the different disciplines, right? So I think time has come to say you goodbye. Next time, tomorrow we'll start the next chapter. So today we have completed chapter number 1 today. So tomorrow I'm going to start with number second chapter. Okay, the time has come to say you goodbye. I should stop share this video. So until then.